And welcome to week number 10, the championship round of season 2 here at MEA, the GT Champion Series. I'm alongside me, my forever partner of this journey, SBR Izzy, and tonight's live actions here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Just moments away from getting everything set up and ready to go. But Izzy, what a season it has been, and it's a shame it's coming to an end.
It's been quite an exciting one, that's for sure. And we've done 9 races, and we're down to race 10, the final race of the series. And we have BM Adler Girl, who's sitting on the pole, and Aerox, the championship leader, who's right behind her in second place. And so it's going to be pretty interesting to see how they race Indy GP Classic today.
And right you are, but surpriser of the week, BM Adler Girl getting her first pole on the season. Congratulations to her, and what was very unexpected to a lot of people. She's very nervous starting out today. I talked to her briefly during the week. She just hopes that nothing goes wrong, and that's going to be a good race. So definitely an interesting race. 7 drivers only tenths off of each other, if that, thousandths more to speak. So it's going to be really interesting to watch tonight.
Yeah, just looking at the top 6 people, they are 700ths off. 6 with SSR Hillbilly all the way up to first is just 700ths of a second. That is 0.07, guys. That is a ridiculously close qualifying margin.
And take us through the season so far, Izzy. We've seen a lot of action, a lot of things go on. It's been really, really, really competitive most of the season, if not all of the season. The races have been pretty much gut-wrenching. Really exciting stuff so far this season.
It's been great to see. We've seen battles all over the track, whether it's been in the back, whether it's been in the middle of the pack. We've seen people grouped up in 2s and 3s. We've seen great battles like Elgard and Elite throughout the season, which has been phenomenal. Watch them two go at it. We've watched Mexena charge through the field at different points and battle multiple people throughout the season as well, and show that even through adversity and some of the mistakes that have happened and stuff that he got around, he would still come back and challenge people throughout the races. Zombie Gut Kill, like throughout every race he has qualified anywhere in the top 5 and usually finishing in the top 5. His consistency this season is something to be talked about and remembered as well, because it's phenomenal to watch a driver like that consistently be where he's at.
Yeah, I agree.
And then Bobberts,
go ahead.
He's been doing well this season too. He's been doing well and trying to challenge Merck, but it looks like if Merck can finish 15th and higher, he's going to have the championship for sure today. And the way Merck's been driving, it looks like Merck will be the new champion.
And practically a miracle would have to happen here today for Bobbers to win the title. We all know it was really close,
Correct.
But the last couple of weeks have definitely distanced the 2 drivers apart. So it's going to be really interesting to see what could happen here tonight, knowing that it's the final week. Right now, we're just getting everybody in the lobby. We're getting drivers set up. So, Izzy, take us through the starting order here tonight.
All right, so like we said, on the pole for the first time, we have BM Adler Girl. She qualified with a 911. The RSR is running pretty quick around here. Then we have at second place Aerox Merck, followed up by third place SSR Bobberts, and then Aerox Breeze. Zombie Got Kill with his consistency is qualifying at a 5, and then SSR Hillbilly's right behind him, and M&R Elgard, so it's 6th and 7th respectively there. And coming in 8th and 9th, we have SSR Markey and Mexena, who I was speaking of earlier, and Markey has been doing remarkably well this season as well. Then we have SSR Nicole and SSR CJ Pert, 10th and 11th. DPR Delete coming in at 12th, and with 13th, we have ITI Cranky, then Aerox Phoenix, and 14th SSR Sin, Mex Platinum, and 15th and 16th. Oh my God, I always mess this guy's name up. Blaske, I hope I got that right. And 17th SSR Blisk. Oh man, I just get it wrong every time. Blisk in 17th. SSR Bash and LSM Oz 18th, 19th, followed up by WRT Fat Damon in 20th.
And it's going to be really interesting to watch to see some of these drivers. We got a couple of new faces in the A lobby this week. Fat Damon, Oz, their first appearance. SSR Sin, which I'm not sure if he's here yet. It looks like he might not be making the race tonight. So right now it's going to be really interesting. Still a nice solid field of drivers. Right now it was doing something. That's why it took me a minute to start putting these guys in order. But it's going to be interesting. I don't know if Hillbilly's going to make it tonight either. But here's a story for you, Izzy. Elgard and Markey, only 5 points between two drivers, I believe 5th and 6th in the point standings right now. Elgard starting right in front of Markey there to begin this race. That's a battle to watch as it comes down to the end of the season here with 44 laps to go. But it's going to be interesting to see those drivers specifically as well. The fact that they're closer in the point standings right now, it's going to be interesting to watch them to see how they duke it out in the final race of the season, because you know both of them want to finish top 5 of the points.
Oh, agreed. And they've been battling all season. It doesn't matter where on track they are. Those two have been, they'll trade positions with each other a good dozen times, like relentlessly engaging each other in different parts of the track and attacking one another's turns and brake strategies. It's really fun to watch Delete and Elgard kind of dance with each other out there on the track. It's like nobody else is out there and they're just driving with each other. It's really fun to watch.
And right now we're just finishing the last few things to go here. We're just getting a couple of guys lined up real fast. I'm just doing 2 things at one time, trying to do some multitasking, so don't mind me too much here. But what do you expect in today's race?
Well, I'm going to be real with you. Where Merck has qualified at, the way he's been doing, if he gets out there in front, he's just going to hot lap and keep his head and hopefully keep it consistent on the track and, try to take P1. He's like, he told me today that the championship is pretty much his, and I'm like, well, what position are you coming in? And before he even said anything, I was like, it's nothing but first, isn't it? And he's like, you know it. So he's aiming for first. So I foresee Mert getting out there, but I also see Zombie challenging and trying to get a podium on this last race. I also see Elgard challenging and trying to get a podium in this last race. So it's going to be fun to watch these guys battle. And Mexena, I hope for the best for him as well, because it's been a blast watching him get further up the field and get some good racing with some of these guys, especially last week before an unfortunate events with him.
Two cars at the start of this race I want to keep an eye on. Both Adler Girl and Nicole, they both have very good launching cars here. Adler in the Porsche and Nicole in that Audi R8. They're both going to get pretty good lines off to the side. The Mercedes and the Jags and the rest of them, they'll get a decent start. But I'd love to see Nicole gain a few spots here at the line, depending on how she can line herself up going into turn 1.
Well, this is definitely going to be an interesting turn 1 too, the way the Indy GP is. We're going to go down a long straight before we come to that break and get into that first turn. So it's going to be shaky on that fast acceleration into that fast braking zone.
And just to give everybody a little bit of an update right now, we are holding for M&R Elgard right now, having some issues, so just going to wait on him real quick here. But going through the season, we've had so many different winners throughout this week, throughout the month. The months, it's been about 2 months since we've started this, and never mind, I hear that Elgard's okay now. Just going over the list of drivers right now, making sure everything's set up and ready to go prop. Oh, SVR Sin has made his appearance, so we will get Sin in line to where he belongs. His first ever MEA appearance, a new driver to the Slapship Racing team, came on as a tuner, said he wanted to make his first start in a league race for him. So it's going to be nice to see him take part, as he's going to start 13th on the grid. So that's another driver to keep an eye on. We haven't seen him yet in the series before, but we're getting his first view tonight.
Hey, as you talk about SSR Sin being new here, as we look at SSR Bash, one of the newer SSR drivers as well, where he's at, I expect him to be competitive moving up through the field and fighting with those guys back there if he happens to find himself stuck there.
So right now we're just waiting for the Bobberts number 8 machine, Mercedes, to ready up. He is one of 2 admins in the racing lobby right now, so we're just waiting for him to ready up. Apparently he's still choosing a car, so they said to start, but Bobberts is not set up yet. Okay, so I don't know if it's me, but I can check something out. We're going to start here very momentarily. I just want to make sure Adam's going to be loading in okay. That would be SSR Bobberts. There's always a good chance that something stupid's going to happen here.
Yeah,
So everyone says that he's readied up.
Issues all day.
Do you see him readied up on your screen?
I see everybody readied up on my end. Everybody's got checkboxes.
All right, we're going to go then. It says on my screen not all the drivers are ready, so Adam is not readied up. We're going to have to get Roberts. Okay, we're going to have to get Upgrade back in this lobby because he's not going to be able to run. I am having issues myself.
How many drivers do you see in the lobby? I see 20.
I see 20, but the issue is Bobberts isn't readied up.
I didn't see Bobberts. He's readied up on my end.
No, he's not going to make it in. It's on my end. It's probably my issue, but see what happens here.
I had issues the other day in my Tora series that I was doing. Got hit with such terrible lag that it just destroyed my race.
So we're going to get Adam, SSR Bobberts back into the race lobby. Because he was not going to get in there. I'm telling you right now, he was not going to make it in. So I was just making sure that he could get in. Got a bunch of people readying up fast as can be. So I think he just restarted his game as well. But in the meantime, you know, one of the biggest growers of this series has to be M&R Elgard, Izzy.
I agree with. I'll have to agree with that as well. Watching the growth of Elgard has been great, but I mean the way Delete and him have been battling, I feel like Delete has also grown as a driver, and he has really had to reapproach how he is driving as well. So it's been fun to watch Elgard grow over this past 2.5 months stretch of racing.
And I have to agree with you. We just got confirmation that Bobberts was restarting his game. He just got into the race lobby. That's a lot better. So we're going to be good there. So once they all ready up, we should be good to go. For all you that are just joining in now, we're just about to begin A lobby action, week 10 of the MEA GT Championship Series. I'm Mayhem, alongside with me Izzy, as we give you the final race of the season. Championships on the line, points just barely apart in other stances of the series. It's going to be really, really, really interesting to see what happens. All the racers are ready up and ready to rock and roll here. And Izzy, who be your pick here tonight?
All right, I'm going to go with Merck for the win, but I am also going to go with Delete possibly edging out Elgard tonight and beating him by them 5 points that he's currently trailing by.
Well, here we go. I would like to see a new face make a win here tonight, but we never know. Merck's been on fire in the second half of the season.
He sure has.
We're loading in now. The season has come to this. One race left. 44 laps to go. Adler Girls first pole position. A new champion on the line here. Green flag drops and we are going racing. And all 18 drivers on the racetrack. Adler Girl gets a great jump off the line. The RSR really took off faster, and she's going to go into lap number one. Turn number one, leading this race. Elgard got a nice jump as well. He moved up 2 positions at the start line. Adler Girl, so far, nothing wrong yet. Elgard goes from 5th to 3rd in one turn. He got a great jump off the line.
Bobberts is right there, too.
And Bobberts got back around Elgard. So Bobberts getting by Elgard here, lap number 1 so far.
We got Markey back there trailing. We got Senna who's right there trailing. Like, these guys are really, really close right now in the top 6. This is going to be a close race.
And the championship leader right now, all over the back bumper of Adler Girl as they go in. Merck had to lay off just a little bit there. Adler getting a nice little run off the edge.
And he definitely comments saying that this Jaguar is a boat, so he has to respect the lines that he's given. That way he don't push that boat off into the wall.
And here they go.
Final turn, Adler Girl's going to lead
Adler
the
Girl will
first
lead
lap
lap
off the pole.
number 1.
That is awesome. Way to go, Adler Girl. That is awesome.
She held off the hard-charging field at lap number 1, but look at that. Bobbert's second in the point standings right now, starting to pressure Merck here. We're going to jump back with them and see what's going on, because right now, Bobbert's looks like he has the better car here.
We have Elgard, who is challenging for a podium in this last race, too, sitting there in fourth. That's exciting to see from him. See the improvements and the progression of Elgard.
Right now, everything's going really, really well so far to start. I believe most of these drivers have had no issues yet. Looks like the backfield kind of broke off. Maybe someone had a little bit of a mistake there if we pull up the race map right now. But everything looks pretty good so far as this race has begun. You know, we've seen prior weeks where a couple of the drivers had a big issue. We saw people. I mean, look at that pack difference right now. It looks like 8th back. I would have to say it's probably sitting there.
And the rear pack is really grouped up too, like the front, but except they're side by side back here. They are. We have WRT Fat Damon from back place on the qualifying, and he's currently sitting at 11th. Sin has made his way up to 12th.
3 wide.
So they're.
And Bobbert's going for the lead. Adler cuts right in front of Merck. Roberts to the inside to take the lead here at lap number 3. Adler holds to the inside line. Merck to the outside. Side by side off the edge. Merck crosses over. Adler back to the inside now. She's trying to hold position. Merck to the outside of Adler Girl right now. And Adler's just holding on for dear life. But there it goes. Merck to the outside for the pass for second. And just like that, a three-wide battle going into one ends up Roberts in the front.
There's definitely been some shakeups in this race, because we have Zombie Gutkill, who started out 5th, who's fallen back to 8th. He's a little bit off pace. While these guys up front are racing each other hard, it seems like the front pack here, these front 4, could start to walk away the way they're racing each other.
Before the week began, Roberts told me, he says, I got to go out with a bang. I want to win this last race. Right now, he looks really, really good here in the early stages of the race. Merck to the outside. Roberts didn't get a good exit turn. Oh, and Merck has shoved up the racetrack. It looks like they both tangled. And Allergo goes back to the lead. Merck has dropped way back. Merck's dropped all the way back to 5th. Elgard to the outside of Roberts now. Elgard will take the second position away, and there goes Elgard to the front.
That Lambo is hard charging right there. Elgard wants to go out with a bang too, it seems like. Markey the second time locking them brakes up on the front on that Porsche. He is definitely pushing the issue there on turn 1. Bobbers is right there on Elgard too. He's really trying to make that Lambo push harder than it should. And Mercedes is doing very well around here too.
Oh, and Roberts is a little loose. But Merck is getting under fire from MEX Senna right now. Senna was a little bit all over him there. He's right behind him still. VPR Delete moving up to the 7th position as well. VPR Delete making some moves early as here. That's nice to see for him. Right behind him is Zombie Gutkill, who didn't get a good start like he said early on.
Got VPR Delete too, who's getting up in the mix. He's came all the way from 12th to 7th, so he's also wanting to try and get up here and compete for a nice final finish of the season. He's made great strides and improvements throughout the season too. It's great to see him up here battling Senna and Zombie.
And so far, the fastest driver on the track is Bobberts for 122.2. Adlergrow right now has Elgard right behind him, and this is what you didn't want to see for these guys in the Mercedes, the Jags. They don't want to see these two high-speed cars very good with their acceleration off the corner, off the edges. But right now, look at this battle. Adler goes to the inside to cover it up. Elgard to the outside. Elgard was looking to make a move on Adler. Adler holding on, and if you were just tuning in, we had some really, really wild action. We just watched a 3-wide battle between Merck, Bobberts, and Adlergrill. Adler dropped back to 3rd. Bobberts and Merck collided coming off the final exit onto the straight. And then just like that, Adler goes in front. Elgard gets a huge run, moving him up to 2nd. Merck drops all the way back to almost 6th, so maintains 5th, and right now we've got a 3-way battle again between Bobberts, Elgard, and Adler, and two faces that we have not seen up in the front in all this season, Izzy. Elgard and Adler, this is very exciting to watch as they are really putting on one heck of a show right now.
I'll agree, and with Adler Girl, the way she's driving, she has had to defend against half a dozen different contenders already, and so our pole sitter is really being tested up at the front. She's seeing what it's like to run the A-lobby here, and what it means to be up here defending and trying to challenge for that first place win. It's just great to see Elgard up here, too. He's in second place right now, and has a chance to
We talked about how
defend.
he's progressed this season, how Elgard has made things happen, and you know, right now he's making things happen. I mean, we could talk about Adler and Elgard. You know, they have been consistent since the start of the race. And I know it's early in the race, but you see what the consistency in playing it safe can do for you. Bobberts and Merck were really battling hard there for position. They both got tangled up, so those two drivers benefited from that mistake, and now those cars out front are going to be really difficult to go, because you know on the straight, that Mercedes will not be able to keep up with these two high-speed cars going by.
And another thing is this Mercedes it's a boat in its own regard too. Like that little collision back there with Merck, how they got into each other and had a little tangle up, that little bit of wear, like just enough. Like you need as much grip as you can to maintain with these cars to push them through the turns to keep up. Like as Adler Girl just destroys that straightaway with the RSR.
And look at that.
You just
Senna
can't afford to eat up the grip.
Senna got by Merck for 5th. So Senna into the top 5 now. Merck's dropping back even more. I got to wonder, does he have any damage on the car? He does not.
He could be shook up mentally after that incident, because if he would have plowed that wall, it would have been probably race over for him.
A lot of action going on in the front right now. Another person to keep an eye on, SSR Martin. He's moved up to the 4th position as well, also in the RSR. He sees those guys in front of him. He sees the battling for second right now between SSR Bobbers and M&R Elgard. To keep an eye on Martin, who's had a tough season. Hasn't won a race since the MEA Prototype Challenge last year. So something to keep an eye on as well.
Oh. Well, he's definitely hungry then. He's definitely been showing how hungry he's been the past few weeks. He's been up here competing. He just seems to find himself on the short end of things.
We got a three-way battle in the back of the field right now. Phoenix, CJ, and I believe... No. Yes, I'm sorry. I'm on delete.
Merck is like the championship leader here right now. And these guys are driving around him and just... Like they're really, it feels like Merck is kind of shook up after events.
You gotta think
they're not caring. Like they're going to race him whether he's the leader or last place, and these guys are going to contend with him. So Merck has his hands full right now.
Well, right now, you know, it's the last race of the season, Izzy, and I've talked to a few of the drivers before the race. They said that I'm going to do everything I can to get to the front. It's the last race of the season. I want to make it known that, you know, it wasn't all for nothing. Merck, on the other hand, he doesn't have much to lose, but if he does, the only thing that can cost him the championship right now is if he finishes last in the straight. I think it's going to be really close. We did do the points earlier in the week, but the fact that Merck did qualify one spot in front of Bobbert, so got one extra bonus point, could make it really interesting. So for Merck right now, it's about being consistent and not messing up and making any critical mistakes that can really cost him late in this race. The championship is in his grasp. He's the one that can determine his fate.
That is correct there. It's definitely all up to him. And it's just great to see these guys still trying to battle him for position and get first. So they don't care
right on
like that he's in first in championship. Like, yeah, Zombie's right there. And Senna is on it too. He's not letting Merck get in front of him. He is hitting his line.
Look at this, to the inside. Zombie's going to make a move on Merck. Oh, but he can't hold it. He got slowed up by the apex just a little bit there.
Last lap, Zombie made the attempt there as well, and I think he might make the attempt again if the door is left open by Merck.
And Bobbert has moved up to the second position now. He did get around Elgard. Elgard, on the other hand, does have to put this lap on the track. He has a 121 something. I didn't catch it as he went by. And look at this. Zombie looked to the inside of Senna after Senna got repassed by Merck. Merck moves up one position again. Merck knows he's a little bit too far behind right now. He's got to start making some ground. So here goes Elgard right here. This is where you're going to catch Bobbert on the straight. But that Mercedes, once it picks up ahead of steam, you know, it moves. I mean, it's not as that slow as people think it is.
Once it gets rolling, it's good. And if you can roll it through the turns and keep the momentum going, the car is phenomenal. It can be a showstopper. And Merck and Senna side by side, riding on with Zombie and Gutkill right now. And it's just amazing to watch these two right here. Oh, a little collision there, and Senna loses a bit. Zombie's going to take that position, and he's going to follow Merck.
And look who's right behind him.
We got Delete and Aerox Phoenix.
That's what I was just saying. They're showing in the picture as well. CJ Pert not too far behind Phoenix as well. We got about a 6-car battle here. And while that's going on...
As close these guys are, each way they're trained like they're on a railroad track right now, and just all hooked up and going.
And we're going to go further back in the pack. SSR Nicole all alone in 11th, so not much going on for her right now. MEX Platinum in 12th. He's a little bit alone, but there's a battle for the 13th position right now between WRT Fat Damon and SSR Bash.
Fat Damon makes some moves. He's come all the way from the tail end of this lobby, and he has made some great strides where he's at. I believe last I looked, he was 12th place.
He's now 13th, so he did get passed by Platinum. He did start 18th on the grid in this race, and he has moved all the way up almost into the top 10, but right now currently holding off SSR Bash for the 13th position right now. We pull up the race map, and you can see where these guys are on the track. Right there in the 1 is your race leader, BM Adlergirl. She's still holding on strong. She did get passed early in the race, but ever since the incident between SSR Bobbers and Merck, she's been able to take off and get a little bit of ways. And there's LSCM Oz and ITI Cranky battling out for 15th. But go ahead, what are you going to say, Izzy?
I do think that Adlergirl realizes that the more that they're in her mirror, the harder she's going to drive the car. So she's put a nice state cushion. And he's like slowly reeling her in too.
And ITI
so
Cranky.
This is going to be a good challenge for Adlergirl.
And ITI Cranky almost fell off the track. And well, Godzilla, glad to have you. Right now, your race leader, BM Adlergirl, still out front. SSR Bobbers is starting to gain ground on Adlergirl. This is where she's going to take off a little bit. She's going to get a better run off the corner there. So let's see what she can do here. Now, she's been leading since lap, I believe, 4 when the incident happened. She was leading the first 2 laps. Merck did get around her with Bobbers because they went 3 wide. Bobbers got in front of both of them right as it happened. I mean, it was all in one big, it was just a giant mess almost. But they were able to hold it tight.
Damon lost a position to Bash here in this battle back there. He's trying to reel in Mex Platinum now. It seems like Fat Damon might be rattled now. Just pushing the car a little too hard, so hopefully he can calm down and get himself a little better finish than what he started.
And right now we're riding for Adlergirl. We have the rear view camera on. You see how Bobbers is getting a little bit of ground in the midsection of the track. All she has to do is run consistently. She doesn't have to do. She doesn't need to go insane. She's running a really, really, really good race right now. This is our best race of the season. Qualified the pole. Stayed out of trouble so far. She's still in the lead. As she has a nice little cushion right now, even though Bobbers is starting to slowly pull her in. We might see a battle for the lead in the next, 3 or 4 laps. Oh, but somebody disconnected out of the race, I think. It was Blisk. No one did.
He was in the back too.
Okay, no one. Okay, I thought for a second there. I thought for sure we were about to lose somebody.
I hope not. It'd be a miracle to have a race where nobody gets lost.
Let's know, and let's not go crazy on the fact that my connection's still holding right now with Forza, because how Forza's been with me the last several weeks. So hopefully we don't have those issues today. And for all you watching, if for something goes crazy, just know I'm going to get myself back into the race as soon as possible, because we have some great stuff going on right here now. But going back to what we're talking about here, let's go back and check out SSR Markey. I think he started closing the gap on Elgar. No, he hasn't. So he's still working hard. As the Zombie is starting to lose ground on Merck. So the gap
Aerox
between
Phoenix
some
is
drivers.
putting the moves on Senna at the moment, trying to get around him as we come to the turns 5 and 6 on this long straight.
Side by side. Look who else
seems
is
like
in the
Senna's
picture.
losing pace.
CJ Pert's starting to enter the picture. Senna, and I gotta agree with you, Senna.
Yes, he is.
As we go in the opposite direction, ever since I would say about lap 9, that's after Merck got around him again. And right now, Phoenix is currently working on him side by side, going through the S's here. He does get in front, but can Senna pull some momentum, get right by him? No, he can't. He has to hit the brakes. CJ Pert right behind them. VPR Delete not too far off pace. Senna gets the back bumper of Phoenix, gets a little bit of a bump. Here they go into the straight.
These guys right here are really bad. This little group of Phoenix on back to Pert, even 10th place back there. Delete. These guys are staying within range of each other. That mistakes can keep it interesting.
Adler Girl still out front so far in this race. Pull up to that's not the race.
Pert with the pass on Senna going into turn 1 side by side.
Oh, big dive, and there's a big accident. Wow, they just barely held on. It looks like CJ Pert.
The lead is right there. They are 3 wide.
Yeah, it looks like CJ Pert just broke a little late going into the corner. He almost took out all of them. Now, the good thing that happened out of all of this is none of them crashed. It looks like Phoenix has held on to his spot. Senna did as well, and just like you said, VPR Delete's in the mix. CJ getting a little bit late on the braking there, but all 4 of them okay, which is important. But the biggest gainer out of that was Delete.
Hey, I'm gonna give a big head nod to Pert right there, because that was a nice move. It was a big attempt. He didn't kill anybody, but he tried to do a big move to get in there and make some passes on the late break. That was great.
There's a pink car in the back of them, closing in onto the screen as well as SSR Nicole,
Nicole?
starting to roll in. So if Nicole can get to them.
That's the last person you want to be reeling in.
Well, I talked to her before the race started too. She says, I'm going to race as aggressive if I can. She says, this race, it's not going to be a safe Nicole on the track. So if you're next to her, watch out. She's looking to be a little bit aggressive here tonight.
She wants positions.
Right now, we're going to go check on Adler Girl and Bobberts. And they're still within good distance of each other. Doesn't look like anything really crazy has changed yet. If you're just tuning in,
He's about a quarter second ahead on lap times, Adler Girl right now. So he seems to be gaining slowly but surely.
And like I was going to say here, if you're just tuning in, this is week number 10 of the MEA GT Championship Series. We got a good one so far. A very, very, very dramatic start to this race. A little bit of issues. Adler Girl is nothing but sensationally consistent so far in this race. She's still out front doing her thing. And it's really enjoyable to see a different face for once. Izzy, we talked about the different winners all season long, but people that we don't expect. BM Adler Girl, who we've seen flourish into the A lobby mid-season. She was running, when she first started getting into the A lobby scene, she was kind of running mid-pack to the back. She's been fighting closer to the front. Laguna Seca was one of her best races of the season, finishing 8th. And this week, up to the front, showing these guys, hey, I've caught on to the secrets. Well,
pole position, finish the race in first as well, leading the most laps. That'd be really awesome to see her this season in that way, especially for her and also for the series itself, to see such dramatic improvements over different races over the season. Because that would be a great finish for her, because she was not expected to come into an A lobby pole, win it, and lead laps like she's been doing. It's a great Cinderella story.
And so we'll come back to these guys right now. Now, it looks like they have actually gotten away from Elgard. Elgard, who's gotten a little bit slower down as the races progress. Looks like they have a battle for the 9th position right now. So let's go back and check that out right now. As CJ Pert's still working on MEX Senna. Looks like VPR Delete
we got Delete working on Phoenix. Delete here has been he's been getting closer and closer to Phoenix, so I see an attempt by Delete here in a lap and a half, 2 at the most.
It looks like SSR Sin has made a pit stop. He's way in the back, so it looks like he's gonna gain some open air and see what he can do with that. This is his first series race of the season.
It's been really fun watching the Jaguars and Mercedes battle one another in this race as well. They both have their different styles, and each driver is applying that style differently as they approach one another in battle. It's great to see how they attack and turn, both braking and exiting.
We don't talk enough about the guy that's about to pull a move here. It looks like, can he go inside? He's going to go to the inside, the lead. Looking for 7th, but can't hold on to it. Has to hit the brakes. Phoenix just cutting off. Oh, he gets a little wide there. He's got to hold on to it. The lead.
Phoenix committed to his line, though.
CJ Pert made a pass, though.
Shook.
CJ Pert now up to the... Oh, but look at that. Senna back to the inside.
Side by side, Senna and Pert. Senna does not let up. Like, if you get side by side with Senna, it doesn't mean it's happening.
And we're on the rearview camera of Delete. We're watching this battle between Senna and CJ Pert. And I got to say, Senna's been very, he's had a lot of rough luck early in the season. We've watched it for the first 5 weeks. But later in the season, he's caught on. He's had some better luck. And right now, not the time to lose that luck, as he's been going backwards since the start of the race. And that's not something you want to see as a driver. And I got a little flag spike there. And anybody that's watching, I hope you know that I'm doing everything I can to keep us running. Alright, we're back. We're back, and that's great. So we are seeing pit stops being made. And Adler goes first one into the pits, it looks like.
A lot, like half the field is pitted already. Just so you know, Mayhem.
Thank you. And if you're just tuning back in, I am SSR Mayhem alongside me, my partner SVR Izzy, bringing you A-Lobby action here in the final week of MEA GT Championship Series. I do apologize for the connection issues tonight. Thank you all that have been patiently waiting to get it back up. We only missed a couple of laps at this point. Hopefully it does not happen again, but no promises made. Box, glad to have you down there with us as well. And for everybody else, go ahead and let us know you're there. As we are in lap number 23 right now, riding with Blisk here, who's currently in the 12th position. Merck is currently your race leader, but he does have a pit stop to make. And
Elgard still has to pit, who is in second place, so we still have some of these guys out front who have yet to pit.
And Adler still stayed in front of Bobberts as well, Izzy. It's something we have to point out. So she made a pit stop right after he did, and the gap still closing slowly, but Bobberts having to do a lot of work right now to try to gain ground on BM Adler Girl.
We have Elgard entering the pit stall at the moment. And then it looks like behind him, Phoenix and Delete are still needing to do their pits as well. Delete's going to go out for another lap.
So hopefully all my issues are done.
Bobberts has Adler Girl right there, like within finger tip distance with this car. This is going to be a real test for Adler Girl today, because Bobberts has been hungry all season. And I'm not sure if he's gotten a win yet this season. Has he?
Who? Bobberts? No, he has not.
Bobberts, yeah.
I do have to make it known, though, that Elgard did get passed by Markey as he was exiting the pits. And doing a little bit of a shout-out right now. As you see here, LSDM Oz currently on the track. An Australian driver with a little bit of a mess on the side of his car right there. It's hard to see. I think it says, let's not forget, lest we forget for the men and women that serve this country. He wanted to have a shout-out for that. And it's always nice to give a shout-out for those men and women defending anybody's country for their freedom and their right to live and all that good stuff. So we do want to make that announced there, Izzy.
That's pretty cool. I like that. It's always awesome to see the armed forces be appreciated even from other nations, too.
Well, as the Amaz currently in the 9th position, he's been trying to gain ground on MEX Platinum there. And as we know, MEX Senna's been having his fair share of struggles. Platinum, I believe, still has to make a pit stop as well as, and yep, so I was about to say LC Amaz.
Aerox Merc pitting. Bobbert seems to have, oh, never mind. He's out here with Adler Girl. Them two are really linked up. Adler Girl is now second with Bobbert in third.
And he's right on her back bumper now.
Oh yeah, he's right there. He is hooked up. But at the same time, I feel like Adler Girl's car gets a little bit better on the run.
And like we're saying here, this is the battle for the lead right now. Aerox Phoenix currently in the lead, has to make a pit stop, so we know he's got a pit here soon. Right now, Adler's doing everything she can to hold off Bobberts, and Bobberts is very hungry for a win, and Adler not used to being up front. right now, she is, for the first time of her season, got the pole, been out front, lost the lead earlier, got it back, and now defending for second, which, like we said, is the battle for first at this point in time. And
well, here's the thing about Adler Girl. We're 25 laps in, and she's maybe not led, what, 3 laps? So she's led most of the race already. I mean, she's really out there working that car for what it's worth.
And here comes the battle. She comes off the exit a little bit further, but does the Mercedes have enough to gain ground on her? Is she going to throw a block? Is Adam going to put it down low? I'd say Bobbert's going to put it down low.
I've seen a lot of these attempts
and there he
with the
goes.
Mercedes and the Porsche.
And he looks to make a move. Adler cuts him off and says, no.
This is going to be a pretty good battle with these two. She's been having to drive defensive all day. There hasn't been no offensive driver getting around anybody. She's been out front having to keep people behind her. So this is definitely a great growing experience for her right now as we watch her evolve, so to speak.
And I talked to her earlier in the season, after the second week of racing, and she's in that DSK, which is a German league. And I talked to her about how her experience is. She had big struggles in the first couple of weeks, and she said this is the most competitive racing she's ever had to do. She's not used to, at least back at that time, overtake and make moves and passes on drivers. And she's grown a lot since then, and it's definitely been known. And she's got a great experience. She's improved every week of the season. When we talk about Elgard and BPR Delete, she's also one of those people out of many others throughout the season. I mean, we've had over 100 competitors all season long. We've had an average field of 45 total last 4 weeks. She's really fighting with a lot of really good drivers, and she got a great exit off that last corner. Bobbert's not really getting the run he wanted back there, which set him a little bit further behind. So it's definitely been enjoyable to see the way
she took his line. She's defending her heart out right now. It's been really fun watching her. And she got a really good run out of front. She also defended Bobberts really well back there. And she's going to give up the position right there.
And like that, Bobberts takes the lead. We're going to see what Adler does, though. Can she keep the pressure on Bobberts? These two drivers have not won yet this season, so it's getting really intense.
I really like her livery, too, on that car. That's really slick. It's really nice design. It's so much blending, it looks like, on the tops and sides.
And Bobbert's your new race leader now. And not too far off them, Arox Merck is now in the 3rd position. Can Merck make some ground on these two drivers? Can he get there in time at the end to make a challenge? For Bobberts, it's about pride. To get a win on the season, he has not in the last, I believe, at least Forza, not any other platform, but in the last 3 series that Bobberts has competed in, he's had 1 win in each of those series. Can he finish out the year and keep at least that streak going? He's got a lot of room with Merck. He knows the championship is probably out of grasp, but he's got to hold off Adler Girl, who's been nothing but sensational since the start of this race. And for Adler, it's about the experience. It's about the experience, how she's grown. This race has shown that she's grown a lot as the season comes down to the end here in week number 10. And she hasn't let up
yet.
Here
and race against Bobberts to challenge him, to even defend against him. Bobberts is a solid driver. He's a strong contender. I mean, he's 2nd place in the championship right now for a reason. He's just had some bad luck the last few, like middle of the season, I feel like, is when he just hit a little bad luck snag. But Bobberts is a great competitor, and he is going to give everything he has right now. And Adler Girl has to give it 110% too.
And I'm going to drop back to 10th or 11th spot as these two continue to battle out. I want to see how far back Senna has dropped. And Senna has dropped all the way back to 11th. He's got a teammate that's quite a ways from him in 12th, which would be Platinum, but he's all alone right now in a spot that he really hasn't been in all season long. If we take out the countless times of accidents he was in early on, and then the success he's had in the last 4 weeks, this definitely, this performance alone does not tell the story for MEX Senna whatsoever, but he's still out there, he's still competing, and he's doing everything he can to get back up there and to at least challenge the top 10. And CJ Pert as well drifted off. There's nobody with him. Moving further up, VPR delete.
It seems like the pits, like everybody's pit strategy, kind of changed the way things were from the first half of this race too. We're seeing a different race unfold now as we get into the latter half of this.
And SSR Nicole, she actually got in front of Delete, so she's in the top 10 now. We watched her behind those 4 drivers earlier. We watched her behind Senna, Phoenix, CJ, and Delete, and she's moved up in front of 3 of them. The next one on her list is Aerox Phoenix, who's ran a great race so far. He was the last driver on the track to make a pit stop. Currently battling for 6th. Look at that, he goes right under Zombie for the 6th position. Zombie drops back to 7th now, and Zombie has had an up-and-down season. The consistency of top 5 finishes he's had, he's been one of the most consistent drivers we've seen this season, and he's also struggling in this race in the final week of the GT Series. You know, we talk about drivers that have been really well late in the season, struggling. Merck's having issues today. Zombie's been having issues today. Bobbert's early on, but has rebounded better than a couple of the other drivers. Senna, who hasn't been going, and he was doing strong early, but has dropped back ever since. And we're seeing other people in this race. Adler Girl, VPR Delete, Elgard, drivers that normally run in the back of the field, really making a name for themselves and moving up the ladder. It's been really interesting to watch, isn't it?
Well, I want to say that this is happening at Indy GP Classic as well. And if you're at all familiar with coming here, this is a very tough track. It's very, very technical. The sweeping turns, like these sections that they come up where the cars go through quick S's and you have to basically turn the car one way and turn back. It's a very challenging experience, and to roll the power and to keep the car pushing at its maximum. So to see these drivers that are like mid and back usually comment how competitive they are, to see them up here on front of a track like this too, against the other tough competitors out here, it's really a testament of skill improvement and how far they've come too. So it's just great racing, and MEA has really shown it in the GT Series too this year. That it's great to watch these guys improve like this.
And right now, this and the battle for the leader, the 2 battles on the track to watch. Merck is gaining ground, though. We get on him here real quick. After a extremely struggle at the start for Merck, has found his way back up to the 3rd position. He's fallen back all the way to 6th in this race. If he can pull off this win, it would be a miracle, I'd say, at this point. And look at Adlergirl still working on SSR Bobbert. She hasn't let off yet. She looks like she's battling for the lead. Did she get it? Oh my gosh, she was very close there, side by side, putting it on. And she has not let up on Bobbert yet in this race. Look at her go. You know, you talk about her giving up the lead. I think this is what her plan was. She knew that he caught up to her. Maybe she feels that she's a better chaser at this point of the race, and ever since she has, she's been right there. And in the meantime, Merck is gaining from this.
My thing is, Bobbert's car was great early on in the run. About mid to late, the RSR started to do better, and Bobbert's wasn't gaining as much time and distance on her. But we do have Merck emerging in the picture with the Jaguar, and it's already a pretty solid car around here, and if she's being slowed up, he has a chance to get up here and contend for that 1st place.
And I'm just going to let everybody know in the chat section, tell us your thoughts. We got 3 really good drivers up front right now, 2 that have been there before. Adler, who's finally made herself a presence to the field, and these guys, you know, a lot of these guys were asking, did she really out-qualify me this week? Because they were not used to seeing a couple, Elgard, Adler. And look at this, Adler to the outside, can't she pull it off? She's trying to dip it in front, she gets to the lead just like that. And there she goes.
There.
And she holds on to it, Bobbert's trying to hang on. So Adler,
like she saw Merck back there and said, it's time to go.
I think she knows. Do you think she has a better car right now? I would say at least the way it's been the last 5 laps.
I would say yes.
So Bobbert's
it's improving on the run.
So Bobbert's now having a little bit of troubles as he has another.
Side by side.
Merck to the inside now.
He just squeezed that in there. There was no room. There was no air. There was nothing in between their 2 cars right there. Bobbert and Merck were literally touching without touching.
See what happens here now. Merck starting to put the pressure on Adlergirl. This is a performance by Merck. Merck, we thought he was done for.
I don't consider Merck out unless he wrecks into a wall at this point. He slipped back to 6th. He was definitely flustered, but it seems like as the races went on, everybody else was making more mistakes than him, and he's trying to put it in that P1 position once more.
And Bobbers is slowly faded out here. Adler up front and racing the championship leader right now. Can she hang on? She's only got 11 laps to do it.
It's like she was 75% throttle after the pits, and she's like, all right, here's 80. All right, here's 90. All right, Merck, here's 90. Here's 95. It feels...
I think no matter what happens here today, Merck definitely has shown that he's got... I mean, we talk about the Driver of the Day award. Win or lose at this point, I think he would get it at this point. For him, it's about topping off a season that's been spectacular and ups and downs. I mean, it's been nothing but a roller coaster ride for Merck. You know, his first week he was in the B lobby. So right now, I think just winning the championship and getting the final win of the season is something that he'd like to do, top off the season. Adler, you know, this is a performance we've seen for the first time with her. It'd be great to see her win for the first time in MEA. And for Bobberts, he's still looking to keep a rolling, you know, consistency of winning at least a race a season. He's still right there as well. He had a great run.
He's right there. He is right there. He's getting some good runs, and Adler Girl here is really showing, not as an offensive driver. I mean, she did show some offensiveness in the race, but most of this race has been defensively driving. It's been sticking her line, keeping it there, and not letting them challenge any part with her. And she just, look at this straight, she just gaps them.
An update on the B lobby. SSR Oval Racer takes the win in the B lobby. So congratulations to SSR Oval Racer to top off the season down in the B lobby. We didn't have updates today. I was having a lot of issues with a lot of my technological stuff, so that's been an issue all season. But look at this right now. This is a great battle for the front three, and as much as I want to leave it, we just can't just yet.
It's so hard. This is where it's at right now.
I mean, this is the rivalry right here that's been going on this season. Last year it was Servi and Bobbers. Oh, Bobbers hits way wide off of that last corner. Did he hang on to it? I don't know how he held on to it, but he hung on for dear life.
I feel like Merck's car is a bit stronger through here. And if Adler Girl at all makes a mistake in this part, I feel like this is where Merck could put the pressure on her to try and get by her. But I just don't know if that Jaguar has enough power on the straight to beat her on a straight-up battle of the drag.
And right now, these three have not drifted off.
And the girl's got the hammer down now. She's not messing around. She's decided it's time to take it home, and I'm going to drive it to the house. These three right here, the top, 1, 2, 3 right now, like they are gapping 4 and 5, and I'm gonna jump back there because Marky and Elgard here, they've had some battles, but it seems like Elgard might notch this off at the top 5 for the end of the season, which is great to see as well.
And Bobberts
and we got
fading again. And for everybody
that's Aerox Phoenix here, side by side.
Go ahead, Izzy.
Nice place, and Zombie makes the pass on Phoenix.
And we talk about those two have been battling at least for the last several laps.
I don't know what happened to Zombie, but he lost a lot of ground, and Nicole makes a dive, and now Zombie is in 8th, and Aerox is back in 6th, and Nicole is in 7th.
And Nicole's been hard charging since early in this race as well. She's been picking them off one at a time ever since she fell back early in this race.
She fell back a good distance in the race, too, so it's good to see that another pink car up in the mix in the top 10.
We'll go back to the lead here with only 8 laps to go. Adler's starting to get a little bit of a ground separation between her and the 2 other drivers behind her. What a story would this be if she can pull this off? She's only got a few laps to, not a few, I would say 8 laps to go here, but she's been nothing but sensational. My battery control. Fantastic, that's okay. With all the issues that we've had up to this point.
Why not?
Why not? You're right. I also gotta mention, I think everybody's still on the track. Now, I know I don't want to jinx us, but it looks like everybody's still running strong.
Correct. You know, as we get through the field, and I know you're out there watching the front battles and stuff, which is great, because those guys are definitely deserve the spotlight for the last of those races that they're driving. But once again, as we watch the races throughout MEA, I'm back here sitting on 11th on, or 12th on ITI Cranky. And then if you go back, like Platinum back there, Sin,
right
now. These guys are just vying for position and track. They are not letting up. It doesn't matter where they're at. And I just really enjoy seeing that type of racing through and through.
And Platinum just threw a late block on Sin, and Sin currently working on Platinum. But for you all down in the comment section, who do you got with 8 laps to go? Who's got SSR Bobbers? Who has Aerohawks Merc? And who's pulling for BM Adler Girl to get her first victory on the season in her first series here in MEA? Who do you got? Top 3, real close. Let us know down in the comment section. And right now, I gotta ask you, this battle back here between these 3 is getting heated up. Bash is on the back end of Sin.
Yeah, it's getting heated up. It's definitely getting hot. The front and back of this pack are. We're getting down to the last handful of laps, and every position matters. And Merc is right there on this Porsche Adler Girl.
And Bash trying to make an inside move.
There is action everywhere.
On Sin. Now we're going to go up to the front as these guys still duke it out with some.
I just can't. Right now on the track. We have Aerox beside Adler Girl right now. Before the final turn of the finish. She squeezes it back in front of him. She knows it. This is where she'll get time against him.
Right now, Adler just trying to hang on.
She is defending her heart out.
So many laps left. She's got a nice run off the final corner there.
But she's been defending this whole race. It's not like it hasn't been non-defense. This should be normal to her by now. We're 38 laps in. She should be ready to defend every lap. And it feels like she's getting comfortable putting her car in the right spot to block and defend in the most proper manners. It's just such good racing to see her. Oh, Aerox. He got a little sideways there, Merc. Just a little swirly. And it gives Bobbert a little room to kind of catch up to him.
Bobbert's got loose. What he gained is what he lost, I believe.
Yep.
I mean, what a race. The championship, the final race of the season. You can see it in these drivers' styles. They're going all out. They have, a lot of these drivers have nothing to lose right now. To give you a little bit of an update, though, between SSR Markey and M&R Elgard right now, Markey is currently in front, and being only 5 points spread apart. I don't remember what the point difference between 4th and 5th is right now, but I think Elgard's probably going to hang on to it by a thread. I don't know for certain, but they're only 5 points apart.
That's such a good battle too. It kind of sucks not to see them side by side on the day. Especially last week at Laguna, it was a fun race to watch those 2 battle each other. And I think they battle each other on a few of the other tracks throughout the season too, in the most phenomenal fashions.
So right now,
Adler Girl's just laying it down.
Duking it out, and points for 4th and 5th are separated by 4 points. So if Markey stays in front, Markey will beat him out in the point standings. Elgard is going to have to do something here. Actually, they would tie in the point standings, so it would come down off of statistically how many top 5s and how many top 10s you've had this season in the A-Log. So right now as they sit, they're going to be tied in the points, and based off of their stat sheets, could be the difference maker of who gets in front of who for that 5th spot in the final point standing here this season.
It's definitely been quite a battle with all the different players that have come in and the different battles with the different drivers, and it's always nice to see that there's a tight points race when it comes to not just first or second, who's going to finish at the top, but in the middle of the pack of that point series. And Delete and Elgar, they kind of won their own championship and title, if you know what I mean. Like, their strides in battling each other this season have been phenomenal. It's been really great to comment on and talk about.
Can you give me an update on Delete, or I'm sorry, Phoenix and Nicole? Has Nicole closed in that gap on Phoenix?
Nicole has fallen back a good bit on Phoenix. She's currently like 280 feet behind him on the start-finish as they come across the start.
So Phoenix and Nicole might not see a battle for position here, but we still got a good one up front right now between Adler, Merck, and Bobbers. Bobbers is kind of just there right now. He hasn't had the car late here to be right behind these two, but he's there. He's just hanging out, waiting to see something. Merck to the inside of Adler to the lead. And he'll get it. Merck to the race lead with 4 laps to go. Can Adler regain ground on him?
Well, we saw her take it from Bobbert, so it'll be interesting to see where she's going to try and get it from him right here. Because this is going to be a handful for Merck, too. Like, he's not completely dominating the race like he's done in some other races where he's come out in first no matter what.
He's really get a run here.
Hard for first and last race.
Let's see, she goes to the inside. She gets in low. Can't she stick it? She goes to the lead as he's going to try to pull a crossover on her. And he can't. She beats him off the straight. Can she hold on to it? Merck gets a little loose off of the corner. Adler, she is running the best race of the season. Oh, but she gets loose. Merck to the outside. Oh, he goes to the inside.
She is really battling hard. This is some great defending here, and she's putting it all. She's putting it all on the line right here.
Low bumping right there, Simon. Look at this. Bobbers is in the picture. He goes to the inside of Merck. Merck throws a block. Look at this. Bobbers is sticking his
Jaguar
nose.
Porsche.
And here he goes again. Throws it into the inside. Adlergo's going to have to try to hold on to the S's. She does. She gets right back in front. Bobbers gets to the back bumper of the Jag and that Mercedes. A 3 different car battle right now. Porsche, Jag, Mercedes. 3 to go.
Girl is a lap later. She's back in this race in the final few laps of this season.
Can she hang on? 2 laps to go.
We're getting to that tire wear point on that Porsche where it matters, so let's hope she has the tread grip left to battle, because that Jaguar and that Mercedes are there vying for position in the turn.
Look at that. Merck gets a little bit, he dug in too much. He had to pull the brakes. Bobbers takes a look to the inside. Bobbers all over the back bumper of Merck.
Oh, Bobbers with a little twitch. How he got that back in that section is mind-blowing.
Wow.
There's a bit of delay between me and you, unfortunately.
It's okay. No, I was going back to him when it happened, so I caught it after he caught it. Bobbers is just there. He's in the picture. He's in the mix. Adlergo just holding on for dear life. What a race this has been.
This has been a great race. To see her pull, to lead the lap she has, to defend, get past, and somehow get them positions back. It's really a spectacular drive on her part.
And this is where she's going to gain a lot. Merck didn't get a very good run for that last section. This is where it's going to be nice for her right now. Bobbers lost quite a bit of ground that session. 1 lap left to go. We got a white flag next time by. Somebody's down in the pits right now. It looks like MEX Platinum or SSR Sin. So they made late pit stops back in the back of the pack. But we have a car lap down now. I believe that was Platinum.
It's a bummer for him because he was definitely competing in the pack that he was with near mid to backpack, because those guys were even grouped up 3 and 4 back there like they had been up front here.
And Adler's just going to hold on to the inside. Just cover the inside. Keep the spots that
you
matter
gotta wonder
most.
I wonder though if Merck is going to try and shake her up in these S's the next 2 turns and see if he can't try and get around her mentally.
This is the turn right here that he's got her every time. He goes back to the inside again. She's just got to hold on. Does he clip her? Oh my gosh, they were so close. And Bobberts is just sitting there waiting for something to happen. You got to think for Bobberts
He's
right
hoping.
now, for Bobberts, this is just hard to watch because he knows that right now something got to happen for him to at least be able to stick his nose in there. 1 lap to go. I don't know, Izzy. This might be the most exciting race of the season right now.
Yeah.
This is coming down to the wire. We've seen close battles all season long. 1 to go. The white flag is in the air as they come across the stripe. Who's it going to be? Can Adlergirl hang on? Can Merck gain ground on her? And can Bobberts find the moment to try to sneak between both of them? But Adler gets a great run off the straightaway going into 1.
All she has to do is do the exact same thing that she's done for 43 laps. Do the exact same thing on the 44th, and she's going to take pole most laps and the win. But Merck is going to try his hardest. He does not stop until the checkered flies. He does not give up. And Bobberts is right there, too. He's just as determined as Merck here to gain an extra position and try to finish further up.
And Bobberts is just waiting for something to happen. Something to give here. This is Merck's best chance right here. This is the turn that matters the most. He doesn't have the spot to stick his nose in.
She puts up a great block right there on that one.
Hanging on. She started on the pole, fell back as far as 3rd briefly. Merck and Bobberts collide. She takes the lead back over. Bobberts goes off the track on the final corner. And she's done nothing but hang on. And for her first series in MEA and her first start on the pole, she will be the first driver to do that in her season 1 here in the MEA GT Championship Series as she goes across the line to win at Indianapolis Speedway. Beast Motorsports driver Adlergirl takes the win. Hard-charging Aerox Merck takes 2nd. Bobberts with a late going off the track to be 3rd. 4th place, SSR Markey right behind him. Oh my gosh, wait a minute! At the stripe! Merck, oh my gosh, Elkhart almost got him off of the final straight. And here comes Aerox Phoenix as he'll finish in the 6th spot. Right behind him, SSR Nicole battling from further back of the pack. VPR Delito, one of his best finishes of the season. CJ Pert as well, finishing 9th. 10th, and probably the most disappointing finish of his season, Zombie Gut Kill. And MEX Senna not getting the final run as well in 11th. ITI Cranky gets with us for the final week. We haven't seen him for a few weeks. He'll look like he's going to hold on to the 12th position, and he will. Right behind him in the 13th position.
His car's pretty clean.
And Bash will finish in the 13th spot. 14th, LSCM Oz making his first A-Lobby appearance of the season. WRT Fat Damon finishing, I believe, is 15th. Right behind him, Blisk finishing in the 16th position. And there's a battle, I think, going on for the 17th position. And we're going to stay on this right now as Platinum and Sin are duking it out to see who finishes in front of who with one to go here. And for all of you watching, just stay in tight as we get ready to do post-race interviews. We'll get a chance to try to talk to Adlergirl as well and see her thoughts at the end of this race, along with all the other drivers as well competing. And here they come off of the final corner. Platinum stays in front of Sin. And 17th will be Platinum. 18th will be Sin. Nice little battle to finish off the season.
I just want to point out that everybody finished the race in only B seed.
And what a way to finish the season. Everybody finishing on the line. And what I need you to do right now, Izzy, excuse me, is invite the top 5 drivers in. You don't need to invite Adlergirl, as I'm going to send her a message because she only speaks German. So we're going to try to get her a message and see what she says back. But what a race that was, Izzy. I mean, that was one of the...
That was a phenomenal race.
That was a way to finish off the season for sure.
I agree completely. There was a lot of attention at the end, especially with them last few laps.
And we're just getting some of the drivers in. Right now I'm sending a message to Adlergirl to get her thoughts on the race. And then once we get all that set in stone, we will we'll get going with the interview process. So just stay tuned as we pull everybody in, and we'll get started momentarily. And while we wait, and as you pull the drivers in, Izzy, go ahead and take us through the final results of the race.
Let's see. We had Adler Girl, who pulled, led the most laps, and finished the race in the number 1 position. Followed up by Merck, who came in second, and he also pulled second. So we literally had a 1-2 simultaneous finish there when it comes to those two. Bobbers came in third, and he fought there at the end. We have SSR Markey in 4th, M&R Elgard in 5th, round up top 5 right there. We have Erox Meek 6th, Nicole 7th, Delete 8th, CJ Pert 9th, Zombie with that 10th finish. That's rather disappointing to see him. He was been so consistent all season. We have Mech Senna, who's in 11th, that's an unfortunate one for us as well. ITI Cranky 12th, Bash in 13th. We got LSM Oz in 14th, Fat Damon 15th, Blisk in 16th, Platinum 17th, and Sin in 18th. We finished the race with all drivers with no disconnects on top of that.
And what a race it was, and what we're going to do here tonight, Izzy, is we're going to do 2 different types of interviews. I'm going to ask a couple questions, and then after they're done talking, you can ask them a couple questions. We'll do that as I'm waiting to get a response from Adler Girl. And we're going to start with fifth place finisher, M&R Elgard. And what a battle you and Marky have had late in this season. It's been nothing but sensational, and you guys really put it on a show. And you almost edged them out there at the end, but I think the way the points are sitting, you guys are tied, and based off of the stat sheet, that may determine who gets top 5 in the point standings at the end of the season. But Elgard, what a season it was for you. It started all the way down the B lobby the first couple of weeks. You found momentum. You got into the A lobby. You grew as a driver all season long. And to top it off, you finished top 5 in the final race of the season. Take us through your mind, take us through your thoughts, and just express how today's race went.
Oh my God, it was a tough race. In my opinion, it was a great race. Actually, my focus was a lot on Marky, trying to stay ahead of him in points. I got a great start because of the Lambo from the beginning, so I actually gained 1 or 2 places, and just more or less hot lapped the whole race, and I really enjoyed the last part of the race. I got closer and closer to Marky. He overtook me after I had a bad pit entry. And unfortunately for Marky, he had a little engine problem. So I actually gained on him the last couple of laps, but he managed to keep me behind.
And is
Elgard, man, it was phenomenal to watch you race this season and watch you improve. See you finish top 5 and be able to come in here and talk and watch you and Delete battle. Like it kind of sucks when I see y'all battle today, but what do you feel was your big battle today to get you in the 5th? Where do you feel that your battle was the biggest? My mic muted. Oh no, my mic.
And I think Izzy's mic. Oh, the party crashed. Oh, we gotta pull him back in.
Crashed, yeah.
Go ahead and get him back in here, Izzy.
Oh my gosh.
Go ahead and pull him back in. Delay.
Oh no, they're not in this lobby anymore. All right, let's invite this guy. The lobby crashed as I was talking. I love this game. Oops.
And just hanging there tight with us as we pull the rest of this in. And Allergirl did send me something. So hopefully we can get some little bit of information.
See.
1 second here while we pull these guys in.
All right. I don't know if I have Bobberts here on my friends list. I thought I did.
I got him. All right, Elgar. Everybody, make sure your party audio is on.
Oops.
1 second. Well, Bobberts. Elgar, do you hear us?
Yeah.
Okay. Everybody, make sure you have your party audio on. But go ahead and ask that question again, there, Izzy.
All right, it's been great watching you battle all season, Elgard, and watching you Delete battle. But today, what was your biggest battle? What was your biggest challenge today to get this top 5 finish?
Well, the biggest was probably just keeping up with Marky and trying to gain on him. It was tough keeping the nerves steady to go faster and faster each lap. So that was more or less the biggest battle I have.
Your nerves held up today with a top 5 finish, man. So congratulations.
Yeah, I hope I gain I keep the 4th place overall.
And moving up the ladder, and before I let Elgard go, Elgard, congratulations on finishing the season strong. It's definitely you've definitely grown as the season progressed. So congratulations on finishing top 5 here tonight.
Thank you.
And moving up, SSR Markey, the battle between you and Elgard late in the season. It was really exciting. He said that you had some engine damage near late in the race, which gave him a chance to get you right at the end, and he almost did. Just take us through your final thoughts and how your season ended up here this year.
Well, I had a good race today. Just sad that on the first lap I got some engine damage, so I was around like 5% less during my first 20 laps. But well, I got a couple of laps good after my pit, and I was able to come in front of Elgard. But yeah, it was a pretty good race overall. It was a pretty good season too.
And Mark, you know, you've had a lot of ups and downs this season. This is a strong note to finish off with for you, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty satisfied about that race and well, the championship.
Well, you also had the Porsche, the RSR in this race, and Adler Girl, she had the Porsche. Now, she seemed to come on strong about mid to late in the run. Did you feel the same way with your Porsche? Because your pit strategy, putting you out in front of Elgard, definitely helped you win. How do you feel that the car came along through the race?
Yeah, well, she was pretty strong with that car. I know that she's running that car a lot on the GT hoppers. But well, honestly, I missed a bit of time this week to practice a bit. I started practicing on Thursday. I just made my qualifying maybe on my second or third session. But yeah, she was having a pretty strong pace, a little bit slower. But I know that I made it 21.7 in the race. But I dirtied it because I was drafting someone behind me. But yeah, she was pretty strong. Congrats to her for her first win.
It's good to see you pretty strong out there too, Marky, with some unfortunate mistakes that have happened throughout the season. But great to see you with a top 5 finish coming in 4th today.
Thank you.
And moving up the ladder, SSR Bobberts, and what a race, Bobberts, that was. You, Merck, and Adler Girl there at the end, duking it out. Early in the race, you guys went 3 wide off of the final corner. You actually gained. You were the best gainer of that whole situation, and it was really exciting to watch. And then as soon as Merck got right in front or right next to you, you both got a little connected there, got a little loose off of the corner. Adler and Elgard gets right on by you there. You had to kind of battle yourself back into that momentum as Merck did as well. Just take us through that part of the race. And with only 5 laps to go, you know, it seemed like your car was better on the early runs, especially with the newer tires. It seemed like you had a lot better to gain there, especially the RSR late. We saw with Adler, it looks like her best was when it was a late run. But it was a very exciting race, very competitive. I just can only imagine what it was like for you.
Yeah, it was a very action-packed race, I think, for everybody, not just myself. Obviously, firstly, I'd like to congrat Merck on winning the title, obviously, even though he did it in qualifying. But yeah, I mean, it was very hair-raising when most of the little coming together, I guess, which then put me in the better opportunity, and I got to brake later. Being in the Mercedes, it meant I could brake later, so yeah, I managed to get the lead pretty early on. Then yeah, Merck and I somehow connected to get me. No, he said we didn't, but on mine we did. It doesn't matter anyway. It just meant, well, he lost out more than I did. You know, I had some catching up to do. I had the pace all runs. I know there were times where I did some slow runs, and you know, again, from time to time, Adler Girl and I made contact. More so maybe on her part onto me, which is what cost me the lead. I'm actually a bit annoyed and disappointed because personally, I know Merck caught us both up very quickly because we were battling, and fair play to him, he had the pace, but I feel like I should have won that race, and I'm quite gutted I didn't.
You were definitely on pace to win that race there, Bobberts, and it was great to see you competing right there at the front. You qualified third and finished third today, but you'll finish the point series out in second, and even though that is a little bit of a heartbreaker, you've done really well and have worked really hard. So it looked like the Mercedes was pretty strong, but there was a time when you were actually in front of Adler Girl on the second half of this race. What is it that made her get out in front of you? Like, what made her car, do you feel, a little bit to get stronger there on the final run? What do you think made your car not as strong at the final?
Well, besides hitting me,
Yeah,
I don't know.
well.
She did hit me, which gave her the lead, which I was a bit annoyed about. I felt as if she should have let me have that back, because I did the same thing when I did hit her. I let her keep the lead, but I guess everyone's different as to how they, all's fair in love and war, they say. But, well, to be honest, like I said, I maybe wasn't as consistent in this race at times. There were times where I put in some fantastic laps in. I did that 21.7, but I was drafting Elgard at the time, so that's why that didn't count. But there were times where I made a few mistakes. The car went a little sideways. So, on the whole, this season I've been more consistent compared to last, although I did get a win compared to this. But, finishing one place better from third to second. Maybe next time we do a GT series, whether if it's the M3 series or if it's a full-on GT series, I might go one better next time. You never know.
Hey, you did a phenomenal season with your consistency. So it's good to see you even be able to be up here and battling like you are. So keep it up, man. You can definitely do it. I believe in you, man. So congratulations.
No, don't worry. I know fine well that I bloody well can do. It's just
that's what I like.
Just when you talk quality drivers, people that finish in the top 5, to now all season, and we would like these people to come back again, next time. So, this is a call out to everybody, you could say.
Bob,
good race, good series, man.
We've watched you the last couple of series in MEA. Just MEA alone, we talked about how you had one win on each season. You competed in MEA. This is the first season you didn't get a win, but you went out with a bang. And it was definitely physical race on the track for sure. It seemed like everybody had their moments. At the end there, it was really, really fun to watch all the three of you battling it out. But if you take anything from this season, what would it be?
That it doesn't matter if there are no mandatory pit stops or there are mandatory pit stops. I have the pace either way. So whatever comes next season, I will just be in the exact same place. I will be there at the front, hopefully battling with those at the front, or even with other people. You never know who's going to be there.
Well, congratulations, Adam, to finish out the rest of this, or the ending of the season, getting a top 5 position, and not only that, but being runner-up in the points championship. So congratulations on a good season.
Thank you very much.
And Izzy, I'm going to let you start with Merck, because I'm going to come back to Merck after we do Adler Girl. So I'm going to let you ask questions first, and we'll come right back to Merck after that. Just go ahead and ask Merck some questions, and then we'll get right around it.
All right. Merck, man, you were definitely dominating this season. Struggled with consistency early on in the season, and normally you're like really strong and running up front. What made it different today? Because you slipped back after hitting bobbers. What was your mentality whenever you slipped back from second a little bit to sixth? What would you start doing differently to try and put yourself in second at the end of the race?
Mainly what I focused on doing was hitting my apex, hitting my braking point, because I wasn't focusing on doing that on the start, and I was just pushing way too hard. I ran off the track twice after that happened, so I dropped down briefly to 7th or 6th or something like that, and it was just all go from there, make sure I got everything perfect.
Well, it definitely looked like you started putting in the consistency and that you were a little bit rattled there in the beginning. So as you made your way through and caught up and you were battling there with Bobberts and Adler Girl, what was the biggest challenge as you had both a mirror full of Bobberts and you had Adler Girl right there as you're trying to make your moves? What was your biggest concern there?
My concern was the straight lines. I was basically a sitting duck in the straight lines, so
I tried to make the most out of the infield section, getting out onto the banking. Because the second we come into that last banking onto the main straight, that's when I start getting pulled on, because they get into the sixth gear and we're gone. I'm just a sitting duck with the downforce.
Well, you did quite a bit of work today to get back to where you were, because it wasn't easy coming from just sixth to second. And at the same time, like,
yeah,
you finished the series strong and with a podium as well. And you qualified second, you finished second, but you finished the series as the points leader and the points champion. How does that make you feel with this season overall? Like, do you feel you've made big strides and that you're going to come back and try and challenge Bobberts again?
Yeah, I'm really proud of myself that I improved on my consistency during the season. That's what I improved on, and congrats to everybody who took wins this season, including Adler Girl, her first win. So yeah, I guess I will be coming back to fight Roberts again.
Oh, I look forward to that right there. You two battled so much this season, so it's definitely a pleasure to commentate on that and talk about it.
Thanks very much.
And right now we're still waiting on a response from Adler. She's typing, but I haven't got nothing yet, so I'm going to go right to it. Merc, what a season it was. You know, you're talking to Izzy there about your consistency. You know, Izzy and I, early in the season, midway through, more to speak, we talked about how the consistency wasn't really your strong suit early on. It was a very struggling first half of the season for you. You really had to gain a lot of ground, especially the first week not making A lobby. You were like one position out of that. It was just a really tough early on season, but as the season progressed, you really found, especially after Nürburgring, that seems to be when you clicked after that race. And ever since, you never looked back. You finished top 3, top 2 every week. You won, I believe, 3-4 races on the season. Like you said, consistency was your best friend late in the season. Now, let me ask you. Early in this race, you fell far behind. You fell as far back as 6th. Originally, it was 5th. Then Senna got around you, and then Zombie started putting pressure on you. It seemed like once Zombie and you kind of started duking out is when you caught on early. Did you think, as you started getting throughout the race, that you would catch up to the leaders at the end?
I'm gonna be 100% honest. No, I was stuck in the 21.9s, and I got away from Senna. I had some clean air, and that's when I said to myself, right, I really need to put down the lap and see if I can make it up there, because I knew they were trying hard to battle each other. They had a few moments where they had contact as well, and I saw them starting to creep into the distance, about 1,300 foot away. I was like, right, and that's when I put down my best laps. I went all out. I was improving on my lap every single lap, and yeah, from there, that's what got me up to top 3.
And when you got to them, it seemed like there was only, I think there was a dozen laps to go in the race. You know, for a second there, I thought, man, Merck's there now. But it seemed like once you got into the mix, that's when your momentum slowed down in the race, and you're like, oh, okay, now I got to work around these two. You know, it seems like we talk about consistency there. When you and Adler started going at, you took the lead from her briefly. It seemed like it was that left-hander off of the mid-straight, I guess you call it the back straight, that you beat her on almost every time. And like you said, the top speed. But on the last lap, you didn't have the chance to dive it in. Did you settle in at that point?
Yeah, I just said to myself, right, that's over. She has enough of a gap. I'm not lunging, because then Bobberts will get through and that's game over.
And you know, we talked about Bobberts there at the end. He never backed off. You know, it was really interesting to see that battle between the three. Bobberts was there, you know, floating in. Every time you and Adler got close to one another, the battle immensed even more. You almost got the win. I know, obviously, you want to top it out. But I gotta celebrate, Merck. Congratulations on being Season 2 of 2019 MEA GT champion, as former teammate Erok Servi won last season, did not finish the last 2 or 3 races of the season. Merck, congratulations not only on today's race, but the championship as well. You said that you're going to come back and defend your title, and rightfully so. Look, going into next season for the series, what are you trying to better yourself in when it comes to the race itself? Being a champion, there's always stuff to improve, I'm sure, but what are you looking forward to most in the following season?
I have to be 100% honest and get more wins.
It's something we talk about so often.
Get more wins. Wow, I like it.
And we just got in, and we're going to finish off with Merck here. Adler Girl does chip in. I did ask her some questions, so if it seems to leave a little bit off, excuse me, but my questions weren't very good. They were kind of all over the place. She says, I knew I was going to lose her, probably her car, because she lost a little bit of control going in, but as my car was faster on the straight, I had hope. After the third, came second, and I saw what he does for a while. So she's talking about Bobbers this morning. She said she got even more nervous throughout the race. It is her first victory, and she is glad, in spite of nervousness, she managed to drive her line fairly well. Going in, she was very nervous early on this race, not certain if she was going to be able to keep up front. It was her first big event with very good drivers, one of the more competitive fields she's ever been involved in. She said she learned a lot. She learned how to overtake and maneuver under control. She learned how to maintain her place without causing a big accident, which was something that early in the season was really difficult, not being used to, overtake. She also goes in today's race, showed me that it doesn't matter how fast her lap time has, she was able to keep up. It was a great race for her, even though she made some mistakes throughout the race. Continuing real quick here, let me see. She sent me one more thing, so let me pull that up. Right here. Oops, I didn't do that. Hold on one second, guys. Sorry. Let's see. The whole event, despite the time difference in the language, was great success for her. So she's very excited for her first series with us here at MEA. So congratulations to Adler Girl on being today's Week 10 winner, her first MEA GT win, and her first MEA win period. So congratulations to Adler Girl. Going back to you, Merck, what a season. Congratulations. And Izzy, I got to ask you before we get out of here, what did you enjoy most of Season 2?
Being the fact that it's my first time commentating a race series, I really enjoyed. There was something new and different with racing for myself. But being able to come in here and watch drivers develop, they progressively get better. You see them get more confident, like Adler Girl was speaking with her confidence. We saw that same confidence grow with different drivers throughout the series too. We got to see Bobbers in here competing and being even more consistent, and he's speaking more consistency as well. So even we have champions and runner-ups and people that are competing in the top and getting podiums saying that they could even find room to improve. I take that away from the series as how positive and great of a racing environment it is to learn racecraft and get along with each other too.
And I gotta agree, this season was very competitive, a lot of fun. Every race had battles. I'd have to say today's race was probably the most exciting race for me personally. Just the way that it ended. Three-car battle at the end, and not only that, we see a first-time winner, a new champion of the series, and it's just been really, really exciting series. So I want to say thank you, Izzy, for all your help this season. For everybody that wonders, this is, like he said, his first time commentating, and we're glad to have him here at MEA. One of my favorite guys here on the squad, along with, I want to give a shout out to ACR Nyko, AMS GG Racing, and also AMS F1 Ben, who also gave us coverage for the B Lobby events, and they have done a phenomenal job as well this season. Hopefully we can kind of work them in the near future to getting into some A Lobby action as well. But we've had some great MEA staff members. I also want to give a shout out to SSR Oval Racer, SSR Bobbers, M&R Scoops, everybody that's been able to help with qualifying this season. And if there's anybody else that I missed, Zombie Gut Kill, I gotta throw that out at him as well. F&G, who was there early in the season, but Zombie, thank you so much for the help this season, getting these tunes back to where we were, because we lost him mid-season, unfortunately, and he was able to pitch in. He's one of our new BOP guys here at MEA. Merck as well, who helped him in that journey. So there's a ton of people here we could thank. I just want to say thank you to the whole MEA staff here, as we have grown to be we've grown a lot in the past year. And I want to say thank you to everybody that's been watching with us this season, all the drivers. We had an incredible break. We had a record-breaking year. I think we had almost 120 people that have at least competed in the series. I think 110, 115 competed, 120 that signed up. So we appreciate everybody that was involved this season. So once again, I appreciate everybody. And Izzy, thank you for being a part of this team this season. Hope to see you back.